Pastor Towler here, and I'm doing a live stream test from the sanctuary. And in this live stream, I want you to help me dial in the new live stream equipment, which I have a camera on that as well, which would be camera 4. Actually, camera, let's see, 6. All right, and so what I'm doing today, let me adjust this and let it focus and line it up there. Okay. So as you can see, I'm demonstrating the Rodecaster video, and the Rodecaster video is a relatively new piece of equipment that has been designed by Rode, which I really like their products. Over the years, especially since COVID and the pandemic, they've really come a long way in designing. And the beauty of this device is many-fold. I'm still trying to learn about it myself. But one of the things that is incredible about it is it integrates both the video capture devices and on the other side, the audio. So the older equipment, like the ATMs and so forth, they are good about the video capture part, but not so much the audio. The audio leaves a lot to imagination. And plus a lot of the connections and the software are very complicated to the point that it'd be hard. It's hard for me to even understand it. So they've really simplified things here, and I wanted to do a demonstration. I have a number of devices connected. All right. And one of the things I'm going to do, if you could help me as I am doing this, I would greatly appreciate it if you join in the chat and let me know if you can see me and hear me. And I am currently taking the Rodecaster video, and I am streaming the Rodecaster video into OBS, Open Broadcast Software. I don't have to do that, but we're kind of used to that. It allows me to do a few other things before we go live, and then I'm taking it into YOLO Live, which is a multi-stream platform that sends it to the website. It sends it to various places so that we're able to multi-stream to our YouTube page, Facebook, YouTube, and the website, and wherever else we decide to do that. The only reason I'm using YOLOcast is because they asked me on my YouTube page if I would do a tutorial video, and they would give me 2 years of business class free, so that's the reason I'm trying to use that and get my money's worth, so to speak. Okay? So in this, you can see several angles. All right? And let me move around here to the different camera angles that we are able to switch between. All right? Real quickly, let me check on. Okay, I see a couple of notifications that went out. Let me check my Facebook. Yep. Okay, so I'm live on Facebook. So currently I'm live on my personal page. I'm live on, I wish YouTube, but I think something failed there for the church and the church Facebook page as well. I'm streaming to Towler Media on Facebook, I believe, and then maybe Towler Media on Towler Media, which would be Facebook or whatever. Okay. So some of you are just joining me. You can let me know in the chat if you can see me and hear me. I'll be switching between several camera angles. I'm here. If you're just joining, I am demonstrating the Rodecaster video, and I've connected this. We used it some last week, but I really want to spend time on Saturday to take some time to dial this in, and you can help me with that. So what does it do? Well, first of all, as we switch back to the right camera angle here, the correct camera angle. There we go. So it does several things, and the main one is these buttons, these big, large, identifiable buttons here, which I love, are able to create camera angles. So you can have cameras 1 through 6, and I believe you can even add to that if you have sort of a wireless type of camera. All right, so these are it's a hardware solution to inputs for cameras, but also other devices. For example, if I hit number 4, it's going to take me to the screens, okay, which is going to help us later. All right, so we could put up the screens as well, and that would be on, as I showed you on, I just got to remember which one's which, on camera number 4. So shot 1 is our main shot with our PTZ optics camera. All right, that's our main shot of our beautiful sanctuary we just remodeled. Not by choice, but anyway, we as you can see, I can move it with the joy. I know you can't see this now, but I'm using the joystick to operate it, so you can see the sanctuary. Most people don't want to be on camera, so usually don't do that angle. But we're able to zoom in and have different, different angles, and you can zoom in here to the baptistry, and I have the lights off right now, so that affects your camera as well. But anyway, you see that. All right, and then so number, hit camera 2. Let me switch on my joystick and show you that. I got control of it here. So this is our side angle of our camera mounted in the wing, and this gives us another angle. Of course, the lights are out, so you're going to have some graininess in the video and so forth. All right. And be sure to comment. If you would, I think I can see your comments. I'm hoping I can through Rodecaster. All right, so you see your second angle in the wing, which also gives us a side angle of, I'm looking at the wrong screen, okay. It's a delay, so I got to keep that in mind from what I see and what you see. About a 10-second delay. So the side shot there of speaker, singer, and then also moving over to the piano angle. I know I'm moving pretty fast, but you get the idea. We have these programs, so it's not such a jarring thing. Okay. So like a piano angle there, and then let's see. I don't think I have anything on camera 3, and then on, like I said, on camera 4, camera 5. And this is an interesting capability. I've got my Osmo Pocket 3 connected via USB. Let me show you. So I've got it connected over here USB. And if you don't know what that is, it's not the HDMI where your TV would take. It's USB. So see, I'm able to bring in another angle being a webcam, which that opens up a whole lot. This other shot is also another webcam for the top-down shot, so you can see. And if I switch over to my Osmo, I got a short little cable here. I need to see if you. I can see there's the webcam top-down shot. Let me put this back. It's just in webcam mode. I don't have the best angle because the only cable I could find was a very short one, and I can't even hardly turn it much. Okay. Sounds are echoing in your voice. All right, thank you for that. Let me go in and fix that. Test. Let's see if I got any other. There must be a live. an echo. Okay, so I've got this. Okay. The combo jack. Let me mute everything else. Well, except that one. And let's see if it takes away the echo. Okay, I muted. Now it might be coming through this webcam, or I'm trying to think where the echo would come from. Some other open mic around here. But the only thing I have connected, the webcam may be picking me up, and the webcam. So thank you, brother guy. I just muted that, so let me know if that fixes it. I didn't see anything coming through. Okay, let me check my phone and see what else could be causing the echo. It may be an effect that is on the Rodecaster on this particular channel. Okay, processing, condenser mic. Let me listen on my end. All right, let me know if that fixes it. I muted everything. I don't see any other audio coming through. Okay, thank you, Janet. Still echoing. All right, let me bring it up. I may have to mute it on this end. I'm glad y'all brought that up because I need to fix that terribly. All right, let's go to... Let me listen to it a minute. I might have to mute this. Hang on just a second. Ooh, that is bad. Wow. Okay. Let me mute just a second. Okay. Echoing. All right, I'm probably still echoing. Let me find out what's going on here. I'm going to go in here and turn off the effects, even though that should make it echo. All right, let's see if that helps any. I took off the effects, but that has nothing to do with echoing. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me try something else. I'm gonna try something else, which may be this one. It may be the webcam doing it. So let me try. Let me just take that offline and then see if that's the problem. Well, there's one other I didn't mute. I turn all these down completely if I'm not using them. Thank y'all for helping me. All right. That's a major echo, isn't it? What else could it be here? What is this? Is this well, that's an effect, but that's not echo. All right, I'm connected in combo 2. Let me show you. I'm connected in combo 2. Live mix. Okay, wait. I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem is. Test. No, okay. Now let me add 6. Test. All right, let me bring that one down. Test. That's muted. That's test. Ooh. Okay. That's not it. I'm gonna chase this thing down somehow. Test. Headphone 1 may be repeating. Headphone 1. Well, no. You know, it might be the test. Yeah, I don't see anything else coming through. As far as I'm looking for green lines. Green lines. Let's mute that one. Let's mute that one. Okay. Mute green lines. All right, hang on. Let me switch to something else. Real quick. Let me switch to the sound system. Hang on a second. All right, test. All right, let me see how that sounds. This is the green wireless mic through the sound system. Oh, still echo. Okay, so I'm still echoing. I'm going to try to chase it down. You can stick with me if you want to, or come back later. I might have figured it out by then. Hate to bother you. Okay, so I'm pulling another audio source from somewhere. Ooh. Okay. multi-track. Let's try this one. Test, test. All right, I think I found the problem. And guess where the problem was? The problem was not in the mic. All right, let me know if it's echoing now. I had the wrong setting in OBS. Okay, so let me look at the comments now. I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. Okay. All right. So, all right, the problem was in OBS. It was in the software where I chose, and that's good. That's the reason we're doing this, folks. We're trying to work out all the bugs right now. Okay, so now we can sort of, in a way, get started. So there's a lot going. Let me show you the beauty of this. Let me kind of just start over since you can hear me well. There is a lot going on here, okay, and that's kind of the beauty of it. In fact, let me make it more beautiful by changing this a little bit. Okay, so this is a line in. I can bring this up a little bit as far as right now test. Okay, that's good. All right. So if the sound is good, it's like a sound check, a rehearsal, whatever you want to call it, which I believe every church should do. And I kick myself that really on Saturdays we try to do a little rehearsal, me and Leanna, and when Kaylee was here and Ella, to try to cut down on any of the things we might overlook or that type of thing. So let me kind of start over. All right, there's a lot going on here, and I want to show you the beauty of this thing, okay? And I don't even know the full capabilities of it all yet, but this is the top-down shot, which is, I've got my webcam up here. All right, I brought from the house, my Logitech Brio 4K, on an arm. I know you can't see that, but it's a top-down shot. So what's the beauty of that is this accepts USB, okay? USB connections that are, normally you couldn't bring in a webcam without going through a lot of trouble in an interface. Just trust me. All right, so you got this is the Rodecaster video. Looks like a whole lot, but it's simplified in ways and it's difficult in ways. This is part of our new live stream setup, okay? So we've got 1 through 6. So that means 6 different camera angles. And I'm going to go through them real quick. I've programmed all of them but 3 because I've got everything I can think of in here. So if I switch to camera, now we're going to go through these later. This is what I need your help setting up, okay? These are scenes. All right, so number 1, I switch to the angle, which is our main shot, that I can control via the joystick, okay? And like I said earlier, here's a shot of our beautiful remodeled sanctuary that the Lord provided. Thank the Lord for it. It's beautiful, beautiful blue. I believe the Lord's favorite color, and if you don't believe that, go out and look at the sky, go out and look at the ocean. All right? So look at the beautiful view. And normally I don't show that view because I don't want to put people on camera. I would never do that without your knowledge, and plus I don't want you to kill me, okay? All right. So camera angle 1, let me go back again and show you what I'm doing. Top-down shot via USB, top-down shot, to show you and demonstrate the Rodecaster video. And this is programmed to camera 6. So I have 6 cameras, angles I can bring in here. And I think the more camera angles, the better. You know, like this shot, and then I can go to let me start over. Okay, getting ahead of myself. So there's our main shot. All right, and then if I go back to the Rodecaster and I press 2, I have it programmed to go to our side shot, which is our piano. I know I don't have the lights on, which there's a reason they say lights, camera, action on a movie set or a television set. Okay, but before that comes sound. They say sound speeds, and they roll sound, and then they say lights, camera, action. So that is your order. Audio, like earlier you couldn't hear me. It didn't matter how good it looked. Audio's number 1. Then lights. Every camera's got to have lights. And then camera, and then action. All right? So here's your side view of the piano, if anybody does a special there. And then you have the camera angle of the, whoops, wrong way. Bring down, and then, zoom in for a side shot. I'll learn how to use this thing in a minute. I'm normally up front, so. All right, so a side shot, just a second one. So we can seamlessly change between the two angles. Seamlessly change between the two angles. All right, and then that's shot 2. Shot 3 I don't have programmed yet because I don't have any other cameras. Now this is really nice. If I go to camera 4, then what comes up is the screens. Okay, when we show the Bible verses, the hymns, numbers, the words, missionary presentations, the introductory slides that do the announcements. All right, so you see the beauty of that. That's going to come into play later. And then number 5 is a webcam via USB, the Osmo Pocket 3, which is my own personal little 4K. The small camera we done the interviews with John and Chris that we put on social media. All right, and then, of course, camera 6 is, again, the Rodecaster video. So you can see 6 camera angles. The one we had before, the ATEM Mini, would receive 4 HDMI cameras, or 4 camera angles, 4 inputs, but it would not accept any kind of USB connections. So the technology from the pandemic 2020, 2021 to 2026 has improved, obviously. It made a big enough jump that I felt like, we could trust the Lord for an upgrade. So we have cameras 1 through 6. This one is a fade to black button, so if I hit this button, it's just my audio fades out. And I guess I could do that. I'm not leaving, but just hang on. Okay, kind of a fade out, end of service. It fades out the audio and the video that I've discovered. All right. And these buttons up here, I'm going to show you, are what we call scenes. So this is really awesome deal about this. If I hit A, which is going to be my scenes, we see that the screens come up. So going back for this to make sense is as we move through the service, we'll have different scenes. For example, all right, we start the service and we put up I built these last week, but I ran out of time. I put up, as you can see, the announcements as they put together the video announcements, the birthdays, the announcements, the weekly announcements, monthly, whatever, anniversaries, that type thing. Then that's no, hang on. Scene A. All right. Now if I switch to B, then what you see is, let me kind of give you an idea of this. I'm going to zoom back in like we were having a service. So I think with this scene, you're going to start seeing why I really like this piece of equipment is because, for example, when
Brother David, when I get up, then it would be this, right? Good morning, welcome to the online service. We're glad, or welcome to the service. We want people to be there, but we have a lot of folks that can't. All right, and then we want to broadcast and so forth. So then next would be this angle. Well, excuse me. All right, we start here, video announcements. Hang on, I'll get it straight in a minute. All right, video announcements. I don't have that up now because that's on another computer, and I don't feel like sliding down there. All right, and then we go to this shot. Okay, we open the service, welcome. I come up and welcome everybody to the service, and I believe we have prayer. I have prayer request. Then, as I step away to go to the piano, they hit this scene, and you can see in the corner, the right corner of the screen, it has the song, okay, the hymn. So this is a picture-in-picture where I've built a scene, and that's as far as I got. I know it, but it takes a lot of work just to do that much. And then here's where I need your help. I need your help to tell me how you would like for me to set up the rest of these buttons. Now you say, that's confusing, Pastor. That is confusing. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch microphones, because there's something interesting going on here with these two microphones I'm using, which also adds to the beauty of the Rodecaster video. And that is, let me switch over real quick. I have this microphone that used to be on the pulpit. It's this little stem right here. And I'm going to switch microphones. Hang on just a second. Okay. So now I am on this microphone. Yes. I'm on this microphone. As you can see, this little stem, this small diaphragm condenser microphone we had on the pulpit. I really like it because it's got that long stem and put that microphone right in your face. And so this is connected. Let me show you. Pretty cool. If this is connected to, and I'm getting used to this thing now. I'm connected. Which one am I connected to? Combo 2. So this microphone is connected in this silver XLR cable, which that's the beauty of this thing too. It receives and will take a, hang on, XLR connection. The other ones did not. They took a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch. No, not a 1/4 inch. An 1/8, yeah, inch, which is very inconvenient because you have to buy another adapter and so forth. So I'm in 2. All right. Now, what it allows me to do is connect directly to it, which I could see all kinds of ways that would be beneficial to churches. And I wish I could show you the screen that I'm looking at. In a way, I think I can connect my phone here in a minute wirelessly, and I'm going to try that live because that's the best way to put pressure on yourself and figure out the bugs. I want to figure out the bugs now. All right, so you're hearing me now on this small little stem. Let me go back. You're hearing me now. I want you to listen to the processing. I'm actually using processing right now. I'm going to take it off. So this is with processing, and this is when I take the processing off. So it does have some audio effects that will enhance your voice. For example, right now you can tell my voice got a little quieter because I turned off the effects. And now if I turn the processing back on, it's got more bass, it's got more top end sizzle, sparkle, and then really just like a punch. So it gives you an easy sort of audio processing, but the good thing is I know how to do the advanced stuff, so it does also have the advanced things as well. And actually, I probably won't demonstrate that because it would need a lot of work, and I'm just not going to get into that. So let me turn the advanced off. I'm just going to use what's available. All right, you say, why is that important? Well, everything means something, and everything's important. So when we go back to the Rodecaster,
then you noticed I have the black one, the black XLR, this one right here. And that is connected through the sound system through our X32 digital processing, which is found on the green mic. So I'm going to switch over now to the green mic, and let me know if you can hear any changes, if you have any questions or you have any suggestions on how to set the scenes, which are up here A through G, which they make that simple. Now when it gets over this part, it's more complicated. Alrighty, let's see here. Let me switch over real quick. I got to go back to my app, and I'll switch so you can see me a minute. And what I'm going to do now is switch over. Hang on just a second. I'm on the stem. I'm connected directly to the Rodecaster. Now I'm going to switch over where it's going through the sound system, and we use this green mic wirelessly. So let me switch real quick.
Okay, now, which that's quieter, you can hear me on the green mic, which this one, I'd have to walk over here to the X32. I'm going to put a little gain on it right here. That's better. Bring it up a little bit. And it also has the processing, which I need to, no, actually the processing is off, which is a good thing. So I'm on the green mic, so let me know how this sounds. And I'm hoping to still see your comments. I hope this thing, try to comment just anything, see if it's going to pop up. All right, so now I am on the green mic, which is going through the X32 and the processing that we have on it. So I don't necessarily want to add the processing. If I did, here's what it sounds like. I think it's going to be a little overboard, but then again, it might be fine. So here's adding the sparkle and the punch and the processing off the, and I better switch my microphone technique because that is going to get very plosive, a lot of pops. And if you're ever in church and somebody says, a preacher says something, it goes, pow. You know, it's a plosive when they, okay. All right, so anyway, that's with the processing on. Actually, it's in my headphones, it's not that bad. But I would like to go in and do the advanced processing myself. So when I take that off, that's coming directly from the X32. I really need to reach over and turn that up a little bit, but it's on the other side of the desk. So going back to this, let me know in the comments. Let me find the comments real quick and see. Okay, yeah, John said a big difference on the green mic. It's different. The main difference is it has compression, EQ, and probably high-pass filter. If I'd done the advanced part, which that would be considered advanced on the X32, but anyway, it's a good thing I know that, and I'd be willing to show anybody. All right, let's go back. And what we're going back to is OBS and this top-down shot, okay? The top-down shot. And in fact, I may switch. I don't know, I may switch again because I'm in the sanctuary and I do hear I hear another audio source coming from somewhere, but I might be all right. All right, so we're on the green mic. We're going through the X32, and that's one of the things I really wanted to get connected today. We didn't do that last week because I was just getting comfortable with the video part, and I didn't add the audio yet because I wasn't quite comfortable myself, and I was still watching a lot of YouTube videos and things. All right, so the capabilities of this thing doesn't end. All right, let me check my time. Okay, I've only got 42 minutes I can live stream. All right, so anyhow, again, these are camera angles. As you can see here, you can see me, USB. Actually, this is a wonderful shot in it. This is a small little, let me show you this thing. Let me show it to you. This little bitty camera, look at that. Little bitty camera, but doesn't have such a wonderful picture. Okay, just ignore all the the other mess. That's the joystick I'm operating. All right, let's go back, bend this, and get it to focus. second. Get over there. Little gooseneck thing. There we go. That's good. And then I go back. You've seen that little camera. Look at this beautiful shot. Good wide shot, about a 20 millimeter wide angle lens. I would like it to be higher, but I got a little short cable, so this is the best I can get. All right. Back to this. So cameras here. Fade to black. You don't want to touch that button. And then we switch to, going through the service. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you have the words. Let me see if I can reach that mouse and change that from the other computer, because this comes from the other computer, just to make it confusing enough for you. So, if I say I'm changing the verses, you see where that would be beneficial, so that the people at home could worship along with us. And I trust they, sing along with us, not just watch, but kind of sing along. They don't have to sing out, but I would encourage them to at least hum the melody or something, participate in it. Let me take a drink of water. Or a sip of water. All right, so I'm switching those. Then I thought about John earlier. I actually punched in John, but, Bible verses. Switch those. Any kind of media, if I could find something real quick. It's not Christmas. I'm not sure. Really, that's Leanna's kind of thing. Here's that video that we were showing. I could go back to this angle, see, and show the video on the live stream, the Memorial Day video we were showing. So see, I'm showing the video. All right. And then I could show the video in the corner, or I can make that what we call a picture-in-picture larger. If that's not large enough, just let me know, and I'll fix it. There's all kinds of. Here's a video. So you see where that would be beneficial, so they could see that as well. I'm just hitting random stuff. This might be I hope this is one of the videos, maybe, that changes. The wrong mouse. Okay, I'm going to kind of look at my phone to see if there's any questions. I know at the beginning we had a problem echoing, and I'm so glad that y'all were able to help me with that. Imagine tomorrow if we were doing that echoing. Wouldn't that? See, that's the reason we need to come in on Saturday and check things out. Do a rehearsal, so to speak. Okay, so you can see the, it's an older one, but you get the idea. See, I could show that introductory video. All right. Or also put it in the bottom right-hand corner. See, so there's a lot of options there. And then in the software, what I can do, just for an example, is show you how that, if I needed to, I could make that larger. Okay, so here in a minute you'll see. Now I'm exaggerating it, okay, but you could see where. Now here's something interesting I'll make for you. Actually, I want to make let me click this one and just do a template. All right, they got all these templates, and I'm going to do something just to kind of really sort of trip you out. All right, Let's see. Okay, that's the one I want. All right, check this out. I like things like this. All right, which this could be a camera angle too. It's pretty awesome if you ask me. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but okay. And let me switch this one to, no, not 6.5. Okay, check this out. All right, this will be D. Okay, so right now, which I know there's a little delay, I'm waiting for it to pop up on your end so you can see this angle and, see what you think. See if I can trip you out. All right. Show you some capabilities this has. Now I need to learn how to move them. Oh, actually, you can put a background in. Oh, man, let's do that. Huh. Okay. So this one, now to do this before, you could do it through software. All right, let's see. Hope I didn't mess it up. D. Okay, it's just not showing on the other end. All right. All right, it says I'm still streaming. Oh, it showed me actually building it. So I was on that scene and I built it from nothing, okay? So you actually got to see me make the like you said, like John said, the multi-video. So it went black here for a minute. I thought, oh, no, I done hit the wrong button. But what it was building it in real time. So I'm going to switch mics again. All right, so now I'm on let me move this one. I'm just switching things around to test different things. All right. All right, so now I'm on this, I'm connected directly to the Rodecaster using the processing. I also need to use a little better microphone technique on that one too, because whoo, okay, that's better. I don't need to speak directly into it. You get all them different pops. So let me know what you think about that. It's just kind of neat, and just to do something sort of out there, it's good to exaggerate what something can do to give you the capabilities of it, which is, for example, on this one, I have the video playing in the background. So it's actually 1, 2, 3. It's 5 different sources. 5 different sources. And when I watch live streams, I like to get a feel of the room, a feel of the different angles. So if I start this video over, or let's say I give a different background. Okay, so there's like a Christmas background. Here's like a candle background. Here's a winter or springy background. Now that's pretty nice. I'm gonna leave that one up a minute. Let's see this one. Yeah, that was kind of a winter one. Here's a pink, which is kind of a video, but you can also put, as you can see, I've done a plosive there, or heard. Get away from me, Mike. You can see that in the background, it's playing a video of a spring video motion picture. All right, so that's pretty neat too. See what I mean? Now I can show you all 4 angles. I can show you the Osmo. I can show you the top-down shot. Now I feel like we're getting somewhere now, folks. We got the top shot, and I can still adjust that. I can go around and cam 1 enter, and I can control the second shot. Check that out. All right. And in building these, maybe I can use, of course, we wouldn't have this one in the shot for Sunday morning, but we could have the first 2 up there, and maybe the screen, give an idea of the feel of the room, and I know people don't like to be on camera, but it's good
let me turn to you. You're here. It's good to see people, that there's people in the service. And then also, let me show you something else that I hid, but it will not hurt you. If you're watching and you go to church here, do not worry about this. But it has really enhanced. There like a lot of good compliments and from folks that were really very appreciative of me doing this. Their ears, not so much something you see, okay? This ain't about sight. This is about the live stream. And I went back and listened to it when the congregation is singing. That's one of the biggest challenges. So let me go back to camera 1 and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you just sneaky little preacher. All right, so when moving the wrong camera. Hang on. Let me fix that one. See, cam 1, no, cam 2 enter. Well, let me just do that. Cam 2 enter. All right, so check this out. As I zoom in, all right, I see a little green light. What is that? What is that? You may have already seen it last week, but preacher set up a microphone. Look at that. And these cameras can zoom in. If it had a little more light, you look, you can read the text off that. That's a PV. All right, that's a large diaphragm condenser microphone. And its main focus is to pick up the congregation out here. But you see how far away it is? It's not going to pick up your voice. It's not going to pick up your voice like you're standing right in front of it. It's going to pick up what we call ambient noise, ambient singing. It's faint, but it just feels, you can hear the folks singing. You can't tell who it is, but it gives the room and the live stream much more fullness, because if not, what you're doing is the person that's up there or the choir, and appreciate them being up there, they're adding a lot as well, because they've got two, as you can see, two large diaphragm condenser microphones for them on the two stands there. And that's picking them up, but this other one's picking up the other side, and you put them all together, and it sounds, to me, it sounds great. And there's always adjustments, of course, that can be made, but I've had a lot of good compliments on that. That has been one of the number one things since COVID. People say, well, I'm on the live stream, and all I can hear is, let's see, all I can hear is the person standing at the podium singing, because there's only one audio source. Of course, that's all you're going to hear. But when you add the leader, the choir, and then you got the piano, and then you add the congregational mic coming this way, then it adds so much more fullness. All right? Gives us a feeling that we're in the room. Gives us a feeling that we're in the room. And we want people to participate. Online services are not okay, we don't want to go totally online is what I'm saying, but we do have a lot of good folks that are not able to come out anymore, and I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel at home. I want them to feel like they're in here. And there's ways to do that, like I said, by adding those four elements: instruments, the instrumentalist, and then the instruments, and the singers, the choir, congregation, and piano is the only instrument we have right now, but if we had others, we'd add them in as well, and then have that fullness, all right? So let me know. We kind of went through it. We could go through it some more and give you an idea of what we're looking at. So we've built different scenes. We have this scene, which is the announcements and the welcome video and so forth. We have this, which I've exaggerated the size of that, and I need to fix it. But I'll make that smaller again. I'll fix that. And then we have D, which is, I was just playing around, and that's how you learn this stuff, is just try. And so you have the multi-camera view like that, which I could add something. I could have both cameras side by side. And in fact, let me do that right now. But I need to check my software. Okay. I'm good so far. And then hopefully I'm seeing your comments. I see Mickey Anderson. That sounds good. I like that. Totally agree. John Milligan, I see your comments. And then I see Janet Warnick and I see Guy. So if you're still watching, kind of chime in something. Just let me know you're still here, and I'm going to build, while you're doing that, I'm going to build C, and I'm going to do a split screen on that one. So let's do C. It's going to go black for a minute. So bear with me. You can still hear me. You just can't see me. Let's add input 1. No, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. Let's do it says do a cut. No. Let's go to E. Let's do it on E. Custom. Hit the wrong button again. Oh, I know how to do it. Delete. Or is it D? Okay, there's D, C. All right, yeah. Delete, and then we'll start over again, which will be, what's this reassign? Oh, you can move them. Okay, we're learning. Multi-source, and it went black. Multi-source. Well, let's bring back something on screen so you can see it. Because, let's go back to this one. I really like this one. And what I'm attempting to do now is, okay, let me think. Well, when I hit the wrong button, I'm trying to get it to go back where it'll say where you can build it on your own. It looks like you can't do that somehow. I'll go to G. All right, it says template. Until I figure that out, I'm going to do template. So let's see, here's a side-by-side. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. Custom. Let me just go with one that's already made. And I can put input 1 and input 2 like that. Okay, so you see, actually I probably would do that one custom. And the reason I say that because I could feel the screen totally with the cameras instead of having that black background. Which you can change the background. Like again, I could put camera 4 like that, but I would make it so that, and actually you can take the different corners and round them. Round the corners. Yeah, see how I'm rounding the corners, or even make like a circle. All right, so you see that they can be completely square. They can round them, or now you can do this in software. It's just so incredibly complicated. All right, so then which this is not easy either, to be honest with you. Now, okay, colors. So you can add a color. So and then when you added the border, it would be like that. So you take the borders off, put the borders on. All right, so you get the idea. I can switch this. Okay. So again, here's another idea. See how I put myself in there and like that. So now you've got, and I believe you can move these. Reassign. No, not reassign. I'm not going to mess with that right now, but a way you can move them. So for example, I could move myself right there where camera 1, the main camera is, and then see the others. All right, let's go back to this angle for a second. Let me close this out. All right, so again, you have and I haven't even showed you the full capabilities of this thing yet, build these different scenes. And then there are, and it does have a touch screen. This one is for setting your audio levels. So I think if I turn that, well, you can see, scroll through here, and well, I'm covering it up. And it does something else that just reminded me of, is you plug a external drive to it through the USB back here. And what that allows you to do is, and we want to get as much capability out of this thing. And anytime I preach, I want as much mileage as I can get out of it. So for example, if I plug up an external hard drive, which I have USB, I can record each camera angle separately. So that means the switching I'm doing right now would not be affected by that. So Leanna and Ella back here, whoever else operates this, they could be switching camera angles like this. But what would happen is it would record each of those on a track for me. So, camera one would be its own. It would record continuously the whole time, camera one. Continuously two, continuously three, four. You say, why does that help? That helps it when we take it in post, when we take it into Premiere Pro or Final Cut, and we do post-production on it. So take the camera and, edit it, and I can use any angle I want to, and I don't have to be stuck with the switching that was done live. Does that make sense? So each camera would record through the entire service on the hard drive, so that later when you take it in Premiere Pro or Final Cut or whatever editing program, and you go to edit it, you can choose any of the angles that you want to, and you can build it the way you want to. So that is huge. I mean, that is super. That is excellent, and that's something the others had as well, but definitely, the recording, the audio, all the audio sources, all the video sources, all the graphics, everything is recorded on the hard drive, so that later I want to be able to sit down and edit my sermons. Let's say you take the hour service, I take and go and edit everything out but my sermon, and then I can choose between the different camera angles, and then I can add any graphics, I can enhance the audio, I can add color correction, I can add color correction, and then there's grading. And that's something I want to do on our live stream too, that I might do right now, is add what we call LUT to OBS, which is a lookup table. And what that does is enhance the colors, which I'm really surprised by this one. The colors here are accurate. I mean, the color of my shirt, this yellow pencil, I mean, it is accurate. And I'm really impressed by that. I hadn't been able to use it much, and I want to make videos like a blog style, and y'all encourage me to do so. There's a lot of negativity in the world, and sometimes that stops me from doing what the Lord wants me to do. But let's see if I'm honest about it. Okay. Oh, we're going to add what we call LUT. So let me go to camera. I'll tell you, let's go to this angle. Yeah. So you can watch everything I'm doing, and I'm not up there continuously. All right, and let's do something else. Let's go ahead and switch microphones again. We're just switching back and forth, trying things out. Let me bring the app back up, and I'll switch back to the orange. Not orange. Well, I might not be able to. The battery's dying on it. Huh. That's some new batteries, too. Well, that's the reason I always like a mic that is... Yeah, that's crazy. That thing died on me. it better stay on longer than that. Those are new batteries, but that's the reason I'm big on, I'm old fashioned. I like a direct connection. So batteries fail, signals fail, but old fashioned audio with a cable like this one I'm on right now is not going to fail you. All right. So it's good to have a backup. Okay. He's talking about a lookup table. So let me show you the difference of this. If I don't have it, let's see. Let me see if I've got this in here already. So it says effects filter. I know you can't see this, but let me see if I already have it in here. So, not chroma key. We want a LUT. Okay. All right, let's see if I've got any on the computer. I would really love to show you this. Oh, I do, I think. Yeah. Maybe not the ones I want to use, but let me give you an example of this, okay? All right, so that's an extreme example. So let me go back to camera 1. All right, and you see that very extreme example of that's way too much, right? So if I take that all the way off, and you just have to really be looking here, and see, that's one of the things I hadn't had a chance to do. Now, we've done it before the collapse in the sanctuary, and I just hadn't, like everything else, got around to doing it. So let me get some colors here. Let's say the blue. Really watch the blues. Let's see if there's any more colors. The carpet, maybe the flag, the reds. All right, I'm going to enhance this, what we call LUT. And what we're doing is we are going to boost the colors of this picture. Okay, so and we're doing it live. There's ways to do this, so we would say this would be color grading, in a sense. I mean, it's a LUT. It does it for you. It's a cheat, not a cheat way, but a shortcut. Okay, now this one is going to enhance the oranges and maybe some teals. So I'm going to enhance it slowly. Okay, and I'm kind of getting into the section to where it's really boosting. You can tell the difference. And this is not the best one. I need to go off and make one for our particular situation. All right, if I take it all the way over to the extreme, you see the ones that's going to boost. But let me back it up to the other extreme where it's off. And then I'm going to bring it back up slowly. And it actually probably doesn't need but about 40%. So this is with it on, this is with it off, which really that's too much. Let me back it down to 30. In fact, that's not the one we should be using, but actually it looks better off, so that's not a good one. Let me browse and find another one. I actually want a Kodak picture profile. Here's another one. Here's the extreme. Okay, you see and here's with it totally off. So let's see if we can boost the blues. It's actually digitizing it, so it's too much. Yeah, this one's not the best for us either. Let's see original. Let's see that. That one doesn't do much. Grayscale. Red isolated. We don't really have many reds. I'll go off and make one. Yeah, that one's... See, it is enhancing the reds in the back, but anyway, these are just some free ones I got off a guy offline that offered them. What does that say? Invert. Oh yeah, that's like an inversion thing. That's an extreme example. But you can see the colors kind of polarized there. Okay. Which is extreme. That wouldn't be used in our case at all. Original, let's try this one. Original. kind of hard for me to see. Oh, it's off. That's why. Okay, so this one might be something. No, it's just a ridiculous example. The rest of them, I think, are grayscale. You know, we could go grayscale, you know, make it black and white like the old days. But I'll go find some other ones. There's some real nice, I like the Kodak ones that you can give them the look to where, and none of these seem to be really the ones I was looking for. This is applications. I know I got some in Dropbox or something. Okay, so that's something I'll work on. Again, it's just another layer of upping the quality of something. Some people would say, well, what difference does it make? But my question is, does anything matter? Sometimes we say, well, that doesn't matter. My question is, does that mean nothing matters? So when we do it for the Lord, we want to remove as many distractions as possible. And we want to give out the best quality that we're able to without being ridiculous, okay? We don't want to be ridiculous about it, but we do want to produce something the Lord would be pleased with, okay? All right. So do you have any questions? I could go back and generate some, and that is the other capabilities of this is, let's see, I'm going to hit some buttons here. I might regret it. Okay, I think this goes with that button. What does that button do? Let me look at the software. I don't want to mess nothing up. All right, this one does what? I think that one's scenes. This one is layer. Whoop, wrong button. Layers. You can add layers. I'm not going to do that. I'll mess it up. Okay, and that one is scene setup, and this is to like a lock. Keying setup is active. Uh-oh. All right, and then you got cut. This is cut, and maybe this is preview something. Oh, you inspect, so we're not going to do that. That would be you wanted to preview it before you post it. This button here is a kind of a universal dial for anything I'm doing on the computer, which I know you can't see, can be done through the software can be done on here. It's just, for example, if I go to this is audio, so you can see I'm on combo 2, and I can, turn that up. I think I'd hit enter. Yeah, and I can bring the volume up, bring the volume down, and then you have the different effects. I'm gonna probably leave that alone. And here's also your audio stuff. And going back, go home. Okay, then that's your fade dip. Okay. I'm learning too. Over here is your headphones. So I got headphones on, as you can see. And that's another beauty too. See, the other ones did not allow you to plug in headphones. They didn't have a headphone jack. Well, why is that important? That's important because before it was so difficult to monitor just the live stream audio. For example, if you was just to plug into the X32, all you're hearing is what's coming through there, and then it's still got to go through the computer and OBS. So you have to have your headphones on to listen to the last part of the signal chain, which I wish we could. The green might come back on, so maybe now I can switch over. I don't know why it didn't before. I know them batteries hadn't died. We just replaced them. I'll be sending them things back. All right, let me switch the audio again. Well, the batteries did die on that one, so there's no way for me to do that. So, for whatever reason, I didn't have it on that long. I'll put that out of the way. All right, so I want to be able to come out of the X32 and show you, but I can't do that now because the batteries died. But that's all right. We listened to it earlier, and it really sounded better than this one, I think. Okay, so we've got the video down pat, and I'll tell you, I've learned a lot just doing this live. I think unless you put the pressure on yourself, you're not going to learn it. So you might as well do it live and work out all the kinks. So we've done the scene builder. What else can it do? It does an output. We could have a monitor showing the output. Let's see what else it can do. I mean, this could be used for podcasting. We could take it down, unhook it, and take it down to the podcast room and do the podcasting live. Another thing that John Milligan mentioned, and let me know if you might be interested in this. I'm not sure how many people are watching, but let me go back to this. This has the capability of connecting our phones. All right. So we could connect our phones, and what that would allow you is folks could call in. They could call in and we could take Bible questions. They could call in and we could, take prayer requests, maybe get some discussion going type of thing is a possibility with this device. This button up here is to record as well as to go live. So you can go live directly from the device. I just hadn't done that because I'm not totally comfortable with that yet. But I don't even really need OBS anymore, the software, because this is a hardware solution. So we could go live directly from this. The antennas that you see is also another kind of amazing feature. And that is these antennas are made for wireless microphones from Rode, and they're for wireless video. So this picks up what we call, wrong button. Well, that's still wrong button. Let's go to this one, which would be NDI is like wireless video. So let's say we had a camera, which I got a few cameras at the house that would work. I'm not looking to do this, so don't calm down. But you can buy these devices that you connect to the camera and it makes it wireless. So you could have a cameraman walking around, and we're not doing that, okay? But what I'm saying is you can. Doesn't mean we're going to use it, but you could have a cameraman walking around, or he could be wireless, or the camera could be a static shot on a tripod and be wireless. We wouldn't have to run a cable, and you could do that. Something else that Kaylee's going to help me with, I think will be very beneficial, and I really look forward to this, is on our screens. Now, I have to run a cable for this, but what we can do is, and I want to do this in the future, when I'm doing my teaching, I want to utilize the screens, and, you could put up PowerPoints, or you could put up things like, PowerPoints, presentations, but I want to be able to use the iPad to write on the screens. I mean, I'm writing on an iPad, but it's showing on the screens, if that makes sense. So when I'm writing little things, it's like somebody goes up to a chalkboard or a whiteboard and they're writing on it. From our iPad, we can connect to the switcher, and actually I can write notes in real time, like on a chalkboard or whiteboard, on all the screens in here because it duplicates it. So anyway, I think that's pretty neat. What else? Because I got 2 minutes and I'll have to leave the stream because I didn't set it long enough. I don't know if I can go in here and change that. Let me try it. I can change it. I'm going to change it. Okay. I just gave myself 30 more minutes. All right. All right. So, let's see. We talked about, what's that? That's separate from this, sort of, where I could write notes in real time. Folks, what I want to do is, and you let me know, you don't have to so much let me know on here, but as a pastor, what else can a pastor do? And I don't mean that in a bad way, to interest people and learn the Word of God. I know there's different teaching methods. I seen one fella, and I really like what he done, is he was writing, which they have these boards now you go directly up to and you write on them directly, but we don't have that, but we have the screens and the iPad and the app on the iPad to, write notes or write things out, and people use that in teachings. PowerPoints, I may do that. I want to implement that on Sunday mornings, maybe just my main points. Don't have the time to, do every little thing. That would be extremely time consuming. All right. Let's see. Going back. Oh, we are back. When we get to this section, we have it plugged into the computer twice, one for the software and one for the device itself. We have the top-down shot USB. Let's see what else we got back here. Let's see if I can turn it without tearing it up. I know it's got a fan on it. Let me move my mic a little bit so you can hear me. What else does this thing do? Oh, you can plug directly into the internet. Ethernet. Network, excuse me. And then you have a small SD card that goes in here that holds media, which I do not have in there right now. And I got one other camera angle, HDMI. Oh, and 2 outputs. And you know what I just remembered? You can connect this thing to 2 computers. You can connect this thing to 2 computers. So that might be helpful if I plug into this computer, which is the screen's computer, this one, and I can show the screen. It opens up a couple possibilities there. All right. Okay. Let me switch around here a little bit. Let me go back. Sorry about that. That's loud. Okay. Real quick, in Yellowcast, if you've made a comment up to this point, it just kind of dropped them. So if you have any questions regarding this, or the real help I need is, and I'm checking the stream, what would you like to see on the screen? As far as we're moving through the service, it may be when we're playing when I'm playing the offertory, it could be a split screen and you can see the piano, and you can also see what is it? What else can we show? That I'm a different angle. I'd like to kind of do a wide shot. If we'd done a wide shot of the congregation, as long as it wasn't, I don't want to put people on there, but there would be some way to do that just to show that somebody's here, right? If not, and you're just showing these 2 angles, we show this angle. All right, we got the people in the choir, and then we show this angle. We got, the pastor at the piano or whoever else. And let me get the other shot here, or the control. And then, we got the, move this thing around. Okay, then you've got, the piano player here. Okay. And then if you're not careful, you're showing some people there. So you got those 2 shots, but then what happens is, but it doesn't give the idea that anybody's home. You know what I mean? So I know people don't want to be on camera, but I want to say, in a sense, would you be willing to do so briefly? Now, we're not going to zoom in on your face, but just, a real wide shot. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a wide shot, like, if I can do that. Something like that, which would be very high up. Right now I've got this, And you got to be careful. You don't want people, I don't want a camera on the back of my head. I'm going to tell you why, because I'm losing my hair a little bit, and I don't want anybody to see that part. Okay, my kids pick on me about that. So we don't want any, a man doesn't, well, ladies too, don't want you showing the back of their heads because, as you get older, it gets a little thinner up there. But anyhow, it's just something to think about. Like I said, we don't want to show anybody's face. And the way I've just proved to you, anybody worried about me showing anybody's face, you can see that we don't do that. We just ask people to come to the choir to help with the singing and with the live stream audio. And then you see the second angle, which we're not going to, well, I guess if you sit in the other wing, which we don't have anybody do that right now, well, unless you sit in that certain part of the wing, because we can only cut out so much. Well, that's not enough. Like that, unless if you went like that, you wouldn't get them. So, okay. And then you see number 4, 5, which is me. Hey. And then 6. And then we go into the scenes, which is we set up that one for the beginning of the service. We set up this one. And I need to fix that one. I went a little overboard on it. I'm going to fix, because it's way too big. Okay, so let's say shrink it down where people can see let me put put a scripture up there or something. Okay, something like that. I know that's, what about a song? Okay, see what I mean? That's good. I think I can make it a little larger. Okay. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention. This does a green screen as well. And, green screen, for example, I always give extreme examples, but if you put a green screen back here, like it's just a green cloth, then you could key that out. And actually, let's say we didn't have the screens then, or have this ability, or even if we did have the ability, sometimes you got both. This could be the background, or you could put different graphics. I mean, you could put different backgrounds back here. So, I don't plan to do that, but it's just a thought. And you say, why would a green screen, I've used them at the house, but they're kind of phasing them out now. I don't have anything on. And then I've got the multi-source. And then that one's nothing. So think about going through the service real quick is we start out here, okay? Let me find the media. So you start out here, or I don't know. I'm trying to find a announcement video. Maybe this is it. Okay. All right. So tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. we roundabouts. Lord forgive me, I'm terrible, I'm sorry. But you've got the announcements. What I mean by that is me trying to start on time. All right. So you have the announcements. I believe that's announcements. Yeah. See? So those would be playing, and then you would maybe hear my piano playing or some kind of piano playing in the background. And then we would go to, when I get up to start the service, we'd go to this shot. And I would get up and welcome everybody. That camera needs to be adjusted. So, I come up and welcome and pray. Then we go to this shot. And then we say, okay, we're going to sing, which we want, Oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing. And then we work our way through that hymn. See? All right. Now next, what happens next? Oh, I come up and give the scriptures. So after that, I come up and read the scriptures. So then we would go here, wherever, and I would read through the scriptures. You know, something I might need to do is move this out a little bit like that, so that it doesn't seem like it's being cut off, maybe. What do you think? So, for example, when I go there, see, I've brought it out a little bit. I can make that bigger. I don't know. I could bring it all the way out here. The bigger the better, you know, when it comes to graphics and so forth. And it might be because that's not centered. Sometimes I overcomplicate stuff, or think too much. All right, so you got that angle. C, I don't have set up yet. So, all right, when I get up and read the scriptures, what do? Well, actually, you could stay here because we go back and sing another hymn. So then let's go back to the hymns, songs, and let's say, Come Thou Fount. Okay, Come Thou Fount. And we sing through that. All right. All right, and then the choir, let's see, after we sing that, the choir comes down. So let me set up C, which should be, let's make it camera 2. All right, because that's going to be on the piano. I don't want to be on camera, but what else are we going to do? You got to pick something. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the wrong camera. I'm adjusting the wrong camera. Cam 1 enter. All right, so I'm going to go over here for the piano. All right. And that's the olfactory, right? Olfactory. And actually that, you know, that could have another shot, or maybe some kind of graphic or something. I don't know. I need to clean up my wires, it looks like. All right, so that could be C. And then D is this ridiculous shot, which we could put in. To me, it seems like it would be nice if there's activity, maybe a camera. You see the wide shot on camera. Wait a minute. You see this shot, which is camera. To me, well, maybe we could do this. The choir doesn't mind being on camera. So if I do like a wide shot like that, let's change this and make it so choose D. So what I'm saying is it'd be a split shot. Wait, would that be right? Yeah, maybe. Let's try it. So something like that, but I would need to take the background out. If I could know how to delete it. Might have to delete the whole scene. Deleted. Okay. Well, anyway, I just try to see some movement. Like to see there's somebody home. All right. So anyway, think about those, and I'll think through the service and build those. But that's a lot of the capabilities of the Rodecaster video. Again, this one you can either go live and record to the hard drive, which is beneficial later. I take the hard drive and I'm able to do what? Another thing is you can do a picture-in-picture thing here. Let me show you. Picture-in-picture. Oh, that would have to be a scene. So let me go to D. Maybe. D. And let me do a custom. So a custom would be, let me add it. You're not going to see anything until I add something, okay? So we're going to add input 6. Is that right? Yeah. And then we're going to add input 5. All right. And then what I'm going to do here is layer this, okay, so that, and you'll see what I'm getting at in a minute, is I could put myself in the corner. Okay, I'm doing some cropping, and this would come into effect when, like, rounding the corners. methinks, if it'll let me. All right, so I'm over here in the corner, so you get the idea. Let me crop it some more. Okay, so that way I'm not blocking it. Or I could go up here. Now I'm out of the way. So then doesn't this make you feel more involved when, well, I'm in the shot, when I'm here and kind of helping you with it, versus if I go to this shot. No, I go to this shot and I'm not, you can hear me, but you can't see me. All right. Do you feel more comfortable when we're like this? See? It's like I'm here with you. I'm helping you. You can see what I'm doing type thing. All right. Let's see if there's any more comments, and then we'll let you go. I've been on here a long time, but I wanted to try it and get a sense of it myself. All right. So I appreciate you being with me. I'm going to look at some things here. Your comments. Yeah, John said maybe show people on the altar. See, that would be something if they felt comfortable with that. Let's see if there's anything I missed. I mean, as far as comments or questions or something. All right. So Faith Baptist shows we've got about 2, and then I'm also on Towler Media Facebook page. Okay, so I see, a guy was watching on my personal channel, and then there were a couple others, I believe. That's good. Yeah, some people stopped by. Thank you. I didn't expect anybody to stay the whole time. It's a Saturday. All right, and then live on Towler Media. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Kaylee seen that on Towler Media. And let's try YouTube. I think YouTube may have failed on me. Yeah, I think it did. Well, wait a minute. It's on the church account, not my account. Yeah, I think I got to reconnect it. So see, there again is another thing that needs to be checked. Very interesting. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm going to sign off here and build some scenes for tomorrow, and then I need to show Kaylee and Ella how to use it. All right. Which is pretty easy. Just push the buttons. You just got to know which buttons to push, right? But as far as the background and the audio and all that, I wanted to get that dialed in for you. But at any time there's something that we can improve or do better, please let me know. But please let me know at the right time. During the service when I'm preaching, I really don't have the time to walk back and maybe try to correct something, but I wish it would show all my comments from Faith Baptist. It says Faith Baptist is live now. But it won't. It shows some of the comments, but it says 26 comments, but it won't show all of them. I don't know if I go into manage video, it might. Condense view. Okay, okay. All right. Well, God bless y'all. We'll let you go. Yeah, thank you, Mickey. Always going above and beyond no matter what you're working on. Always thinking of others. I think I will leave this one microphone set up on this computer or this device because I can sit here at any time and do a live stream, and I can do any kind of recordings or column alls or any of that stuff. So, all right, appreciate you. God bless you. I'm going to sign off, and Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll find out how this thing goes. And one other thing before I let you go, we are raising money for this thing, $800. I put in $100, and then 2 other people from the church gave me $100. That's $300. Sold the old device. That's $200. So that's 3, 4, 5. So we'd love to, if you would like to invest in this new technology for our church, we appreciate it. I just went ahead and thought it was easier to ask for forgiveness and permission, and then went ahead and ordered it and made the change to show you the capabilities. And we plan to use it. It'll last us a good 10 years. With this technology, I don't see what else they could come up with, but it absolutely boggles my mind, I'll tell you that. All right, we'll catch you later. And I'm going to go on Planning Center and set a tab so that you can donate online for this device. Okay? All right, we'll catch you later.